Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at some review examples for the quiz that you're going to have next week. These are going to be very similar to the quiz questions. So number 1 says to list 4 expenses you currently have and put them in the correct columns in the chart below. So we're splitting expenses between discretionary and essential expenses. So again, discretionary expenses are expenses that you don't necessarily have to be spending, and essential expenses are just that, they're essential. So 4 things that I currently have are rent, I pay for Netflix, I pay for Hulu, and I pay my water bill. So I split it up evenly. Number 2 says, if Emma is an elementary teacher, would a new laptop be considered an essential or a discretionary expense if hers isn't working? So I would say it would be considered essential since hers doesn't work. So if hers did work, it might be different if she just wanted one. Would it be considered an essential or discretionary expense for you? So for me personally, it would be a discretionary expense. Because I have a laptop that works. It might be different for you. Answer based on you and your opinion in your life. Okay? Now it says list 2 examples of discretionary expenses and essential expenses. So I'll mark them separately. So discretionary and essential for a professional video maker. So if they're a professional video maker, an essential thing might be a camera or a laptop. Okay, so that's 2 things. Then discretionary things might be the coffee they have to drink in order to stay up really late in order to edit their videos. And then maybe a new desk if they already have one. So you can be as creative with this as you want. Just make sure you list 2 of each. So now it's telling us to determine the mean, median, mode, and range for each of these data sets. So we'll look at the mean first. For that, we're just going to add them all together. 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 34 plus 8 plus 8 plus 28 plus 28 plus 7 plus 8 plus 32 plus 36 plus 19 plus 7 plus 5 plus 0 plus, and I'll just put it down here, 34 plus 20 plus 12 plus 28. Okay, we're going to take whatever we get for that answer, and we're going to divide it by however many numbers we have, and we have 20. So if we actually simplify this, we're going to get 338 divided by 20, and we can simplify that to 169 over 20. And I can't simplify that anymore, so we're going to leave it just like that. So we add all the numbers, and then we divide by however many numbers we have. So now if we look for the median, we need to put these in order. I have luckily already done that for you right here. Okay, but you're going to have to do it on your own on the test. I'm not going to do it for you. Okay, you're going to put them in order from the least to greatest. Okay. And then you're going to mark them out from left to right, one on either side as you go, to see which ones are in the middle. If you have 2 in the middle, you're just going to take the average of the 2. And it looks like we do have 2 in the middle, so we have 8 and 12. So we have to take this 8 plus 12 and divide it by 2, and that's going to give us 10. So the median is 10. And then looking for the mode, that is just the one that is occurring the most. And you can see here that there are 6 8s. It definitely pops up the most in that data set. And so the mode is 8. So for the mean, you're going to add all your numbers together and divide by however many numbers you have. For the median, you're going to put them in order from least to greatest and see which ones are in the center of the data set. And then for the mode, it's just asking which number or which data point occurs the most often. So for B, for the mean, again, we're going to add them all together. So we have 88 plus 53 plus 53 plus 32 plus 53 plus 11 plus 66 plus 99 plus 78 plus 12 plus 39 plus 88 plus 9 plus 79 plus 3 plus 5 plus 55 plus 68. And we have to divide that by however many numbers we have. And we have 18 of them here. If we simplify that, we're going to get 99 over 2, which cannot be simplified further, so we're going to leave it as a fraction because the actual question itself does not have decimals. So we're going to leave it as a fraction. So again, you add them all together and divide by however many numbers you have. For the median, again, we're going to have to split them up into, or order them from least to greatest. Again, I've already done that, so I'm just going to copy them off of my paper. But for you are going to have to do this on the test on your own, which it's not hard to do, it's just time consuming sometimes. Luckily you have plenty of time. Okay? And then you mark them out from either side to see which one's in the center. And I'm just underlining them so that I don't mark them out actually. Okay? And again, I think in this one we have 2 in the center, but since they are the same, we don't have to do anything with them. But if they were not the same, we would have to take the average of the 2. And then the mode is also going to be 53 because almost every other number pops up only once, but 53 pops up 3 times in the list. And then for part C, again, we're going to add them all together. For the mean, 937, 359, 989, 450, 29, 599, 562, 253, 116, plus 359, plus 450, plus 39. We have to divide that by 12 because we have 12 numbers. If we add that up, we get 5142 over 12. And then if we simplify that, we have 857 over 2, and that's the farthest down we can simplify it. So we're going to leave it at that. That's the mean. For the median, we again have to put them in order, which I have done here. 16, 253, 359, 359, 450, 450, 562, 599, 937, and 989. Okay? We're going to mark them off from either side to see which one's in the middle. I wrote one too many ones on that one. Let's erase one. Okay, and we get 2 of these answers. So we have to take 359 plus 450, and we're going to divide that by 2. That's going to be 8809 divided by 2, and we're just going to leave it at that fraction. And then for the mode, you can see that 359 has popped up twice, and so has 450. So we're going to list them both. So this one has 2 modes because they occur the same number of times, and that means that this data set is bimodal. So just like a bicycle means 2 wheels, bimodal means 2 modes. So if we look at the 3rd page, we're looking at sigma notation. So it says to determine the value of the following summations. When we're looking at these, we're going to start at the bottom number and go to the top number, and we're going to replace the variable there with every number in between. So we'll start with 0. So we have I with 0, I with 1, I with 2, I with 3, I with 4, and and when we stop at 5, because that's our upper bound. Okay, so we're just replacing I with these numbers. Okay, so this is just saying we're adding up 1 through 5, and if we add all those up, we are going to get 15. So that's going to be the answer for that one. So for the second one, we're going to be taking I cubed, since that's what's here, and we're going to be putting in the numbers from -3 to 4. So we start at -3, add them all together. I cubed for -2, plus I cubed for -1, plus I cubed for 0, plus I cubed for 1, plus I cubed for 2, plus I cubed for 3, and we're going all the way to 4, plus I cubed for 4. And we're going to replace this number in for I. So instead of I cubed, we're going to have -3 cubed, -2 cubed, -1 cubed, 0 cubed, 1 cubed, 2 cubed, 3 cubed, and 4 cubed. So we're just replacing I with each of the numbers from -3 to 4 and adding them together. Okay, so -3 cubed is -27, so that's -3 times -3 times -3. -2 times -2 times -2 is going to be -8. That's going to give us -1, 0, 1. That's going to give us 8. That's going to give us 27, and that's going to give us 64. And if we add all these together, our answer is going to be 64, because -27 plus 27. 8 minus 8, 1 minus 1, and then 0. It's going to leave us with 64. So again, we're taking whatever we have. So we have this I squared plus 2I, and then we're going to replace it with 0, plus we still have this I squared plus 2I. We're going to replace it with 1, because it's 1 more than 0, plus we still have this I squared plus 2I. We're going to do a 2, and we're going to keep repeating this up until we get to 5, because that's what number's on top. I squared plus 2I. Okay, 3. I squared plus 2I, 4, and then I squared plus 2I for 5. So we have, for 0, 0 squared plus 2 times 0, plus 1 squared plus 2 times 1, plus 2 squared plus 2 times 3, or 2, sorry, because we're replacing I with 2, plus I squared changes to 3 squared, plus 2 times I gives us 2 times 3. Okay, I squared changes to 4 squared, plus 2 times 4, and then 5 squared plus 2 times 5. Okay, if zeros, then we simplify. So 0 times 0 gives us 0, plus 2 times 0 gives us 0. 1 squared plus 2 is going to give us 3. 2 squared is 4, plus 4 gives us 8. 3 squared is 9, plus 6 gives us 15. Okay. 4 squared is 16, plus 8 gives us 24. And then 5 squared is 25, plus 5 times 2 is 10. So 25 plus 10 gives us 35. And if we add all of these together, we get 85. So just replace the variable with the numbers from the bottom number to the top number and add all your answers together. So if we look at number 6, it says the following chart contains data on the scores for one quiz taken in a trigonometry class. Austin was absent this day, so his score isn't counted below. So the students are labeled X1 through X8, as you can see on the chart, so that Austin doesn't know who did what, who got what score. And it says, if Austin got a score of 68% once he took the quiz, what can you tell him about his grade compared to the class average, not including his grade? So is his grade higher or lower than the average? So we need to find the mean. Okay, so we need to add all of these together and then divide by 8, because that's how many scores we have. Okay. So we add them all together and we're dividing by 8. And once we do that, we're going to get 614.9 divided by 8. And since this does have decimals, we can see it goes 1 past the decimal point. We're going to go ahead and round our answer to 1 past the decimal point. And it's a percentage. So that's the average. So the average is 76.9. Austin got a score of 68%. So his score is below average, and he should probably study more for the next test. Okay? So if we look at the next problems for this one, it says write the average in sigma notation. Okay, so we have x1 through x8. So we're having xi, okay, and we're going from 1 to 8. So the lowest number is 1 and the highest number is 8. So that's going to be the same as x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 plus x5 plus x6 all the way to x8. Okay? But in order to find the average, we need to divide by the number of data points we have. So we need to divide by 8. So we're going to multiply all of this by 1 over 8 because it's the same thing as dividing by 8. Okay? So that's how we're going to write it. And then lastly, it says what are the median and mode of the chart, the grades in the chart above. So if we look through and we write these out from lowest to highest, I've got them written out here. I'll go ahead and copy them down. 73.2, 79.9, 83.5, 83.5, 94.3, 98.9. We can see the median is going to be the one in the center. So we've got 2 in the center, so we've got the 79.9 plus 83.5 because we have to take the average of the two, so add them together, divide by 2. We're going to get 81.7 for the median. And then the mode is the one that pops up the most in the data, and so 83.5 occurs twice, and the rest only occur once, so that's going to be the mode. So if you guys have any questions, look over this over and over because this is exactly what your test is going to look like, but with different numbers. So you guys have a good day. Let me know if you have any questions. You're going to have a study guide on this next. It's going to be very similar to this and very similar to the quiz. So just let me know if you have any questions, if you have any issues, and I will see you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.